And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let Me Just Say podcast. I am your host, Ray. With me as always, we have Dion
Good evening.
and the lovely Material Life. What up, D?
What's good, y'all?
How's everybody doing tonight?
Sure.
So, um,
Good, surviving.
although I didn't give y'all a topic, it's mostly what y'all been sending me. So, just so I could pick up on the slack. But the first thing I do want to talk about, since we was talking about wrestling before we get in there, and Dion, since you are a wrestling fanatic, how do you feel
Mhm.
about John Cena retiring or announcing his retire? You about to retire?
I mean, is this it for real? Because this ain't the first time he said something about retiring, and then kept popping up at live events and shit. So you know, I guess if she's making it a point to like actually say it, like like all the whatever PLE events are coming up. This is it for him. Hey, but I'm wondering who should his final opponent be?
I made a joke and said Kurt Angle, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I feel like it has to be Randy Orton.
It's going to be a new blood. I guarantee it's going to be a new blood. And
Because of the history between them, I want it to be Randy Orton. Let me just be completely honest about that.
I get it. I get it. And I understand. Just because the history of the rivalry, I believe
Yeah.
they're going to have a match before he retires. But if you ask me, I think it's going to be a new blood, and this is going to be a shot in the dark because they already had a match. But I think it might be Austin Theory.
No,
You don't think so?
nah.
Because
It's it's going to
Ron,
be no.
it
It's
might be
going
Ron.
to be it's going to be one of two things. Part of me firmly, and again, this is probably just nostalgia talking, but part of me really thinks and really wants it to be Randy Orton. However, what you're saying about it being uh, a newer, younger talent,
Yeah,
I
I
can
mean
see.
John Cena. My thing is John Cena's been putting over talent, new talent, for a while. So a lot of them they went solo, Sokoa, Austin Theory, a couple other people that I can't name off the top of my head. But yeah, yeah. But I
You
don't know.
know,
I'm telling you, it's going to be a new blood. That's why I'm throwing out names like Austin.
hey, you know what I just thought about?
Ooh,
Wait,
ooh.
wait, listen, listen, listen,
Hold on.
listen, listen.
Go ahead.
Oh, wait, no, listen, listen. So another big rivalry that's like super noteworthy within the career of John Cena versus The Miz.
John Cena versus who?
The Miz.
You know what I was thinking? Who his last match should be?
Who?
R Truth.
You know what? That's not a bad fucking idea. Our
I would.
true quote unquote childhood hero.
Yeah, like that would be, and then like they have like dope ass match of the year type of match and shit. I would definitely, I would actually pop for that. I think that's it. That's if it, oh no, that would be one of the ideas I'm throwing out. It's like, what about our truth? So, uh, uh, shit. Well, also, what did you think about Money in the Bank? I didn't watch. Like I said, like I told you, I didn't watch it because I forgot to fucking watch it on my phone or some shit like that. But I know you did. So, what did you think about Money in the Bank? Hello, hello.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear
Yeah.
me? All right. My phone, it's like my screen cuts out or whatever, and then my phone just don't want to fucking cooperate. I don't know if it's the phone or this app or what. I'm gonna blame it on the app.
I don't know. Yesterday B was having trouble, so something new with Jesse. Always something new.
Yeah, but in any case, if I had to give the pay per view an overall honest grade, I'll give it an A minus.
Hey, minus was good.
And the only reason that I'm giving it an A minus, performance wise, everything was on point. But with the exception of the women's Money in the Bank match, every match ended exactly how I thought it would. So they lose points for predictability. Other than that, it was a good show.
Okay. So, as much as I would like to talk about this, I ain't got much to talk about. So, any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Push Chelsea Green, please.
Just- also, also, Jay Uso is right now the funniest nigga in WWE.
Yeet.
That man said yeet and right. I was like, why is this so funny? He was yeet and it just
When he said he don't want no smoke with the white six, he meant that shit.
did that shit. He was like, I want no smoke with it. Okay. All right. Uh B, you there? Material life, are you there?
I'm here.
Something in this app is starting to pick on her too.
So this is coming back. Was it? Yeah, just has been kicking people's ass.
Oh shit!
It's always
Damn,
something
it
new.
dropped her completely. Oh
Yeah,
shit!
I know.
Get it
Something
back.
new with this joint. But let
Oh,
me set this up so I can get it. So when she comes back, I hope she knows that. There she go.
cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Where's Father when we need him?
I don't know. I took the best signal out, so he should be coming. Okay.
This app
Um,
only seems to act right when that nigga here. Shit.
To a point, I was 34. I said, look,
so first thing I was going to talk about because Material Life sent
I
me
got to a
this.
point, I was 34. I said, look, I don't.
Material Life sent me this, and I told her later we'll talk about this. So basically, this is we gonna watch this video, and I guess we're gonna
Oh
conclude.
god. What craziness about to come out this woman's mouth.
Yeah, I think you might agree with her. I don't know. Hold on. So,
Point, I was 34. I said, look, I don't need no more boyfriends. I'm in my 30s and I wanted to do things God's way. I want to, get married. I'm ready for my husband, but I'm not going to date. And he was like, well, how does that work? I said, well, God is going to tell my friend when it's time that I'm his wife. And we did just that. The world is going to tell you no. Most men in the world are not going to understand that. That's why you got to align with a Christian man, an equally yoked man. I got to a point, I was 34. I said, look, I don't need no more boyfriends. I'm in my 30s and I wanted to do things God's way. I want to, get married. I'm ready for my husband, but I'm not gonna date. And he was like, well, how does that work? I said, well, God is gonna tell my friend when it's time that I'm his wife. And we did just that. The world is gonna tell you no. Most men in the
Um,
world are not gonna understand that. That's why you gotta align with a Christian man, an equally
Exactly.
yoked man. I got to a point, I was 34. I said, look,
okay,
I don't need no more
okay.
boyfriends. I'm in my 30s.
Go ahead, yeah.
If you and your man started off as just friends, just stay that. What kind of overcomplicated ass explanation was that? Second, is it is it
And I want
bad that when someone introduces religion into a topic such as dating, I have a tendency to tune out.
So did
Because
you even hear it?
I heard what she said, and I'm just like, huh?
Oh, okay.
Um, I understand 100% what she's talking about because, like, wasting time is for people who are like of a child, a 19-year-old, you know, high school kid, all the way up to like in their 25s, 26, 29 time for age frame because they have time to wait. Like they're still young, they can live this good fun life, they can just go out partying, you know. But like as you get older, you should hit a point where your maturity is like, okay, I don't have the time to waste no more. Especially for women, like once you get into your 30s, especially if you have zero kids and you plan on still bringing in a kid with your husband or whoever he deems to be, you start to get real risky with.
But then why wait that long? Because I was 25 when I said I had enough of the streets.
Different stroke for different folks. Some people's journey is a long journey. Some people is shorter. So,
Yeah, but the thing
and
is, you got tired. You got tired of, and you didn't want to be, out here just, here, there, over here, over there.
and
She
It
plus, you
probably
know,
was
became
still having a
it
good time.
became too damn easy.
well,
Mhm.
also plus, I noticed since we're all prior military here, we usually get tired quickly, like quicker than other people. Like some people still out clubbing right now. With the military,
Yeah.
like we get our shit over before we're 25, and then everybody's like, "Shit, I want to settle down."
Mm.
Everything just happened so fucking fast.
Yeah, but you also have to remember, like, if you're when you're having fun, you're not thinking about settling down.
I don't know.
No, she has a point. I mean, I think she has a point. I wasn't thinking about settling down when I was having my fun.
Hmm.
About having my fun.
Yeah, like if you're outside, people constantly trying to talk to you, girls is throwing their stuff at you and stuff like that, and you're having the guys is throwing their stuff at girls, girls getting free drinks, girls being flown out. They're not thinking about settling down because they're having too much fun. But then once you get older and these like people are looking for the young girls and now you're not that desirable anymore. Now you're thinking to yourself, like you're sitting at home, you're paying your bills, um, and life is starting to become life. And now you're thinking to yourself, and I need a partner. Like you've had all the boyfriends in the world. You've had these, let's get these text messages through the good mornings or well, hello King, how you doing? Miss you. Let's go out to eat. Let's go watch some movies. You had all those moments, those constant, the same repetitive. How's your day? Days like Groundhog Day keeps on repeating itself, And then you're now like looking at yourself like, I done had a million of these same repetitive texts with the same, the same 15-word text that you have when you first get into a relationship with somebody because you're trying to get to know them and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm still wasting time. Now you're getting to the age of 35 and you still haven't found someone. And now you're really starting to panic because you have 0 kids. Your desirability is dwindling. You probably didn't freeze your eggs. So now the kids, even the eggs that you have left or is available, there's a possibility your child will be something of the spectrum. So now it's like, even if you find a man, it's like the kid I give you might be good, it might not be good. You might stay, you might not leave, you might go. I don't know. So it's like now life is at life in you.
Uh, before you continue, Kevlar in the chat, I got someone wrote in the chat. He said, "So if they get a divorce, is it God's fault then?" That's what he
No.
asked.
Why would it be God's fault? Like
Because
he didn't send them to that divorce hall. They just got tired of each other. It's the fault of their own. It's more than so a lot of times people don't vet. Like people don't do that process. Like even though they say, okay, I don't want to go into this dating stage anymore. Okay, yeah, you're not in this boyfriend girlfriend stage anymore. But the conversations, regardless as friends or whatever the case may be, or friends getting to know each other, or whatever the case, the conversations still have to be very 100% transparent. The conversations still have to be very tough. Um, it has to be, you have to feel awkward 95% of the time because there are certain things people would never want to ask somebody because they don't feel comfortable asking people certain questions. So if you were never transparent, you're just like, oh, okay, we'll figure this out as we get married. And then you get married to this person 5 years from now. Now you're seeing a person out. It's because you never really questioned who they were in the getting to know them stage.
well, Kevlar, I hope that answers your question.
So
So,
when you get a divorce, it's because of your lack of true understanding and true guidance of like being able to ask these people these things. Because you should never be afraid to ask somebody who you plan on spending the remaining of your life with questions, especially when it comes to like when you
Hey,
finally
can I
get
say something?
married. Mm-hmm.
So, you know what? I'm gonna ask you a question. So, and this is an age old ass question. What do
Mm-hmm.
you think is the minimum amount of time a couple should be together before they even remotely consider marriage?
Like be together in the sense of what?
how long do you think someone should be together before they consider marriage?
Like as a couple, as boyfriend and girlfriend, or whatever, before getting married and shit.
I don't know. I'm not the person. It depends on you as the person. If you feel like all your questions are being asked, if you feel like you completely 100% understand who the person is, and you feel like you could spend the rest of your life, well, even if they become like quadriplegic and you have to clean their ass 24/7, feed
Why are
them,
you going to extremes with?
that's not extreme.
I'm sorry, but that is you talking about somebody being a damn vegetable.
Wouldn't you want your spouse to still be around even if you became a vegetable?
That's
That
besides the point.
that's not besides the point. I need to know if I ever become a vegetable, would you just, up and unplug me instantly?
You got to put
Like
that in honest. No, for real, you got to put that in your will if you have a will. if you're in
Yeah, like
a vegetative state,
we
you
should both be able to ask that question. Like if I become a vegetable, I would want. Oh, okay. I don't mind if you unplug me and then you find somebody else that you want to spend the rest. Like you find a new spouse or whatever the case may be. But if you're not asking that question and then you like now you can't move your neck down and the person's looking at you like I'm so irritated. I hate you. I don't want to be with you. And you're like, who is this person? Like these are that's why I say you have to ask questions that are uncomfortable. You have to ask questions that are tough. Like in the relationship state, dating stage, or like getting to know each other as friends, eventually building up to something else. Because then you'll know exactly like who the person is. And I don't think that was a tough question. Like if I lose a leg, like would you still want to be around with me? Like
can I kick it with you?
like if you have to roll me down the street
You're
Monday
terrible for
to
that, by the way.
Sunday, like would you still be comfortable like to be having to like push my wheelchair like Monday through Sunday if I want to go do something and like I can't do nothing, you can't really do much, we have to get like we now have to pay for somebody, I can't work no more. Is that something that would like what if we become broke? Like do you get angry? Like if now you stuck with me and I can't do nothing, I can't be of nothing, would you be the type to like get frustrated, angry? Uh, have you ever been broke in your life? Like, what's your relationship with money? Those aren't tough questions. Those are questions that should be asked. Like,
Do you okay, I don't know how often do you date, but do you ask those questions on the first date or do you ask those questions kind of like down the road?
I ask them whenever my heart feel like asking them. One
That's
thing
actually a solid answer.
yeah, like,
Considering everything else you
Like,
just said, that's actually a solid answer.
I'm
like
not
if
going, I
if the
can
first date, if we're just talking, getting to know each other, we're walking on the park, we're having these solid conversations about like, who you are, what your plans, what your goals. Um, and then like if it like you say something that kind of triggers me, like, let me see how this person feels about this. I'm gonna ask it. Like, it's not no right or wrong way to ask a question. I don't think there is. Um, I'm not gonna ask you in your deathbed, oh, should I just like, pull your plug? Like that's weird.
no, it should be in a that should be in a will. It's like if I ever become in a vegetative state, that way we won't have to guess that. It's just well, he said it in his will. That's what he wanted. We'll put
All
it
right,
on.
it's there in writing.
No, you need to tell me this, not just in the will. I need to know.
No,
And
no,
That's the whole purpose of it
that's
being
the whole
in
purpose of
writing
the
in the will.
yeah. That's the whole purpose of the will.
At that point, you become legally obligated to do whatever is in the damn will.
Yeah,
I know, but I don't want the first time I'm hearing about this to be in the will.
of course,
Oh, okay.
of course,
I know what you're talking
No,
about.
no, not of course, because some people they be so shocked, like their husband have a DNR, and they're like, "Wait, what?" Like, yeah, he don't want to come back. So I don't want to be at the hospital. All of a sudden, I'm finding out all sorts of new information. Like, who is this man?
um,
This ain't the motherfucker I married. Wait a minute.
Mhm.
who
Like,
is
did
this
he
woman?
hate? Did he hate
I
me
get
this
it. I
much?
get it.
Like, he like,
That's
I'd
the
rather
whole
die
reason
than be
I
back
asked the
with her.
original question. I get it.
He's like, God, send me to another family. I don't want nothing to do with her no more. So let me go. So when I come back, send me to somebody new.
Just said, yeah, going to the next dimension.
Exactly.
Also, since I guess since we kind of, this is something you also sent me that I said I get back to you on, and I guess we can play this. Hopefully.
Not do anything. Either one is fine with me.
You don't understand how weird, how crazy that sounds to me. I've never seen a dependable man. So how could I entrust my future in something that has proven to be faulty and unreliable? It
makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
in my own,
It makes sense.
And the way how I saw men, they wouldn't participate in raising the child. They'll just be like an outside figure. They weren't in the household. They were unfaithful, and subconsciously I developed a bias against them. And you probably have seen the effects of that, of me just like not wanting you to be the man that you are, like the provider, the protector. Because previously in my mind, men were just lackluster things, like and the enemy of progress, honestly, because those are the only examples I had growing up.
There is a certain level of maturity you have to not allow previous things to kind of,
you have to unlearn, you have to reprogram your mind, you have to start all over, and it's not easy, but it's definitely worth it. And there's some, I think I've gotten a lot better, but there are certain things and certain responses I was like, where's that coming from? Where is this thought coming from? And I have to be really intentional with watching what I say and how I act and respond.
Now, during that, and I think I confused the fuck out of B because I told her this is what I mean when I say women should need men and not want men. And he was like, what? And then he was like, why would I say that? What about this video gave that? What about that gave off of that video? Which is how do I came to that conclusion is because what I meant to say is when the right man, I always talk about, and I feel like I'm quoting Django when I say this. You get that 1 in 1 million, that one person that.
Okay, you know what?
The right nigga. But,
this reminds me of a video that I was going to make and decided against it. And I remember everything I was going to say in this damn video. And this,
what was you going to say?
Okay, so women talk all the time about what they will and won't do for a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to that I say, you ain't met him yet. And when I say you ain't met him, you ain't met the cat that checks all the boxes. You ain't met the cat who don't go for none of nothing. The dude who is all about you, but still, demands his motherfucking respect. See, the problem is,
you really thinking hard about this, huh, Dion?
okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. The problem is they're too used to chaos. So when they come across a cat who ain't for none of the nonsense, who actually has his act together, they don't know what to do. That's why they can't hold on to nothing.
Okay. So this is what I meant. This is what I mean because I always say when you find that one person that does everything to a T, and I think if this sounds like I'm picking back on for Dion, this is basically what I was trying to say about B. When you find that one person that does everything right and everything to the way that you like it, like you're not gonna want to have nobody else. And I feel like um like once a woman once a woman or a man finds that person, he never let that person go. It's like even if he's not perfect, but he does like everything. He does everything to the point where it's just like I can't see myself without this person in my life, and I feel like that's when that's when you need some. That's why you need. That's when you end up needing him and not just wanting him, because I know a lot of women said they want a man and not need a man, but in my opinion, when you want a man, you kind of treat him like an accessory and not a necessity. So, um,
See,
when you
I've said this before and I'll say it again. Men and women need each other.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but men doesn't have a problem saying that we need women, but there's a lot of women that said that like they don't need men. But it's just, but it's like the equivalent. I can say this is like when a guy finds a barber and he always goes to that same barber because he knows how to cut his hair right and he knows um, what it takes to make him look good in the barber chair and all the other stuff. It's the same thing like when you find that one companion that does everything for you. Like he treats you the way he wants you. He pampers you the way you like it. He listens to you when you talk. He's like the sex is good, the conversations are good, and everything's just on point. You're gonna. It's like if that person makes your life significantly better. Why would you want anything else? So it's just like I need this person in my life. Like if I find a woman that I feel like checks all the boxes that I want, I'm not going to be fucking with nobody else. It's just like I'm gonna need that person. That's basically what I was getting at when I was coming across when I was
Mhm.
talking about this video. That's what I was talking about.
So this is probably gonna sound controversial, but I don't think we need each other. We want each other. We appreciate each other. We love being around each other. But if either or did not was not around, like you still would be able
No,
to
no,
survive
no.
without
If
each other.
anything,
Right?
if
No, no,
anything,
no.
I
Let her finish,
believe the
Dion.
issue
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah. Let her finish. Let her
okay,
finish.
okay.
Yeah. But I don't think per se saying, oh, we need, because need is like stuff that you can survive without. But we want each other. We do. We appreciate having the companionship, having somebody to talk to listen to you, to grow with, to like educate you, to like build and like, stimulate your mind, your soul, and your full being. And we enjoy that portion about each other. Um, or whoever you find or whoever you deem is like the right person to, spend that time with. But we all know the want and need is like a whole nother topic. The thing that reason why thing that took me kind of like threw me off about the whole topic that I sent you about was because guys tend to say they want like women that like grew up in like two-parent households. But this is a girl that came out from two-parent household. Like they claim females who was raised solely by mothers are like they have these damaged mentality. But she was raised by two people, and she has this damaging mentality about men.
She also, if I'm correct, she also came from where she came from a family where the men wasn't dependable.
Yeah,
So all
like the
she's
men, the
so
because the men all they did was work. Um, so it's more than likely she was probably African or something, and depending on the age period that she was raised up, men, and that's all in every other household. Men work, 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 work. They was like the enforcer in the household. They came home, slept. The wives fed them the food. They did what they need to do. They go to sleep. They go back to work. They this and that. And so the mom would do like every little tasking. All you saw was the mom slaving against men. So then you built this thinking that your mom, she's like doing all this thing to this guy and all he does is sleep or eat or is like worthless because he's not walking you to school every day. He's not picking you up from school. He's not helping you with your homework. And back in the day, that we had a lot of people had this mentality that it was young girls expected or wanted more from their fathers, and even though the mom did so much, they just didn't see the fathers in that limelight, of like being in the same level of their mom. Or sometimes, depending if the father is very absent in life, they couldn't see the things that the mom was doing because they wanted in being for the attention of their fathers. So for her, she saw her dad. Her dad was actively in the picture, but the problem was what she was expecting of a father is not what she got. And so she automatically put him as if he was unworthy. And so she's seen every guy in that same limelight as if they was unworthy. And to me that's so detrimental. And I'm like, y'all claim that being raised by two parents is amazing. But there's still damaged two-parent household kids.
Yeah, but that's an anomaly. Even the ones that it comes from two parents households are damaged. That's more or less of an anomaly. So it's what you're probably speaking of is probably the exception and not the rule. But you know, the exception doesn't really make the rule. But but usually when that usually happens is that because one, if she's in the house, that means the mother's in the house. That means you're seeing your mother more than your father. You don't really understand and most people, they don't really understand what the man does until they get older. They realize what the father actually do. Especially if one is in the house most of the time, they do all the homework, they do the nurturing. That's why like the brothers get all the like treatment and love. And I hate the fact that I quote Charles the Rice, but it's like the father's like the villain. He's like sometimes since he's like the enforcer, he's kind of like the villain. It's like he has to be the one to tell you no, or he has the one that lays down the law, and most people don't like that. But also, but back to the wants and the needs. My thing is like, and I say this when I feel like when you want something, it's for the moment. Like, um, like I want these new like a new shoes or like there's some type of outfit. That's what I look at when a woman says they want a man like and usually
but once you experience it, now what?
yeah, it is, and I feel like that's one of the problems with why most quote unquote independent women don't really have long lasting relationships because
Or as
they get a boyfriend or they get someone with them, and then it's like now what? They don't. It's just like
or to put it straight to the point, because someone on TikTok asked a similar question to this topic. I commented, "How you gonna act once the honeymoon phase is over and life starts happening?"
yeah, because I knew a girl. She was talking about how she pays her own bills, she got her own car, she do everything. The man don't have to do anything for her. And then I'm like, well, that's for you. I was like, so that's everything for you. What are you doing for him? And it seems like she is, most, in my opinion, most independent women, they're most likely looking after themselves because one, they're independent and they don't really know how to work with people. So usually, in my opinion, when I see them with boyfriends and all that stuff, it's like, okay, now what do I do with it? Now that I got one, what do I do with it? And they usually don't know what to do with their mans. So that's why I feel like they use their boyfriends as in this, like, not an accessory.
An accessory.
Coach bag and some shit like that. It's just to look good and then like toss it away later. And men don't like, and most men don't like that. It's just like I'm here to make your life better. So if you feel like I don't make your life better, then why am I here? That's why most men don't like. Usually when they hear like I want somebody, it's just like if you could do everything, why am I here for you? What am I to you? And then that's usually why they end up leaving those type of women and then get someone that actually likes them for them.
Exactly.
So that's basically what I tell people. Like that's why you should be needed and not wanted. Because yeah, you could pay you can have your own house, you can pay your own bills, you can have, but do you really want to do it all by yourself? I know, like most women, that's why a lot of women are trying to get to that soft life where I don't want to do everything by myself now. I want to, want to relax and chill. I don't want to feel like they're independent women. They just want to relax and chill, but they go to the other extreme. Like I said, they don't, it's like getting off. It's like killing an addiction with an addiction. Like I stopped smoking cigarettes, now I smoke weed. So that's how most people do it. It's just like, okay, instead of doing everything by myself, I want me a sugar daddy that's gonna pay for everything, and I can just sit down. It's just like, why would you do it? That's one extreme to another. So
I agree. I think the problem is so many people lack the art of appreciation. Like we've hit this quick fast, the social media era, where people see somebody else's, they see in other people's grasses, and the grass that they in right now currently don't look that green from the viewpoint they're looking at. So then they start seeing other people's grasses. So then they stop appreciating what they had when they had what they had, and start wanting something that's a little shiny. And then they hear the host saying, "Oh, I'd rather cry in a Rolls Royce than cry in a Honda." But sis, you're still crying.
you know what's funny? That's what I say all the time when people's like, I'd rather cry in the Rolls Royce than cry in a Honda, but you're still crying.
And the worst part is, at least the Honda can't be taken away from you. But let's be honest, most men, if they was to buy your Rolls Royce, it's not going to be under your name. And even if he puts it in your name, because like as we seen from Sweetie and stuff like that, Quavo still repoed their car from her. So
and then it doesn't solve the problem. Is why you crying? It's like, but why are you crying?
yeah, so it's like like I understand the want and the need, but in reality, like most people want you, but that doesn't mean they need you. And
And
once you
that's
understand that them wanting you and them appreciating you, now the thing is there's different levels to this want. So now if you just getting somebody that's a superficial want, then yeah, it's not gonna be deep. It's gonna be quick and go. But if you get somebody who wants you like to the core, like they like everything about you, they have the same mindset as you, then that's different.
I'm not gonna lie, B. That sounds like a need. And basically, I feel like we're saying the same thing, but
Mm-hmm.
not using the same words.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does sound like a need, but it's just like you don't want to call it a need, but it sounds like
Because to me, need, like, I need air.
We'll say requirements. We'll say that.
Like,
requirement is also a need. It's like a synonym.
I
yeah,
When you
but
say
like
I require,
to need
when you say I
something,
require you to
it's
do this,
like
it's basically
you
saying I
can
need you to do this for me.
you missed the point.
No, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. That's why I called it a synonym.
Mhm.
But
Like I know, I
it's like,
understand what y'all saying, but I said at the end of the day, need to me is things that you cannot function, you cannot live without. And I don't think a boyfriend,
let me
girlfriend,
tell
husband,
let me
wife
tell you something.
is unfunctionable. It's great, but it's not unfunctionable.
Listen, I should have told this one here with me to her face. The very idea of me having to go without her, it makes me nervous. Just thinking about that shit makes me nervous.
Your wife?
Yeah.
That's sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah, but this, uh, but this is what I'm saying. B. If I find a, let's just say I find a woman that makes me a better person, right? That every like, if I'm
Hmm.
around this person, she makes my day better. She makes my nights better. All of a sudden,
Hmm.
I improve as a better person. I've upgraded.
Hmm.
Why would I want to give that? Why would I want to give that up? What?
Why should you have to give that up? No
Yeah,
one
that's what I'm
should have
saying.
to
And
give that up.
and that's usually when men is just like, okay, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Mhm.
So that's when it's just like I can't see myself without this woman. That's when they do the married thing because you
Mhm.
can't. To me, and I know you've been married before, but to me, the like when you marry somebody, it's just like I cannot live without this woman. It's like I need this woman, I need this person to be by my side for the rest of my life.
That's what you hope.
That's yeah, that's that's what you going in, but because like I said, no one goes to the but it's just like I make like she makes my day better. Why would like because you can get with because sometimes you can get other people to do it, but if they don't do it the way like the other person did it, it's just like you could tell like which is why like women they don't hop on new dick. They usually go back to their ex boyfriend, especially like if that's the man that put it down real real well, and they don't want to like up their guard. So they go mess with the boyfriend with the really good sex because you know no one do it, no one knew, no one could do it like this person can. It's like, and that most relationships they've been over, but because the sex was good, that's what was keeping them there. You've seen those relationships before.
Uh-huh.
Oh
And
shit.
that crazy to me. Just crazy to me.
Yeah, you'd be like, that man don't do nothing to you. Like, girl, that man don't do shit for you. Why you still with that man? And she'd be like, girl, the dick is bomb.
Yeah. Just sad. I think I think I see life or I view life in a different perspective than like a normal person.
that's that's fine. And I
And
mean, I just don't think you found to me you found that one person that
I mean, to playing simple to that, I say define.
huh?
yeah, say it again, Dion. I think this shit cut off on him too.
All right. Oh, why every time my screen go into fucking sleep mode or whatever, I cut out?
I
Yeah,
don't
you
know. But
said
say what you said again, Dion.
I was saying, to what you said a moment ago, material life. I say define normal.
mm, I guess normal be them girls who
Because
just
what's
like
normal
they,
to one person is can be completely foreign to somebody else.
I
yeah.
just I just don't think you found that person that you're that makes you feel like I
Again,
need this person.
you ain't met
I don't
him.
You ain't
I don't I don't think my brain like can
And
register.
and here's the thing, you are going to say it to yourself, that's him. It's gonna be a voice in your motherfucking head. Cause it's the same. Cause it's the same for. It's the same for us. That's her. There it is.
Yeah, then we usually know when that's the one. It's like, yeah, she the one right there. That
I
is like that's
I just don't think
especially
it's
when
in
you
my
call it,
brain.
especially when you call her that's my old lady. And dudes don't play about their old lady. That's my old lady right there. I don't play about her. You know,
That's why I say I don't think I function like normal people because some people can like break up with somebody and jump into another relationship. I can't function like that. I can't break up with somebody and then be in a new relationship. Like I need a detoxification period, like a long one. Um, like
different strokes for different folks. I don't think there's
the
nothing
whole
wrong.
like
I
I
don't think
can't
there's nothing wrong with
even
what you said.
like some people
Especially
have
when
their
you've been with a motherfucker for an extended amount of time. It's like, nah, that shit stinks.
I, Me personally, I think the reason why relationships don't work now is because no one is catering to each other. Is I feel like everybody's looking for
Everyone's
themselves.
out for self. Everyone's out
Yeah,
for
they're
self.
looking out for self in relationships where it's not about I in a relationship, it's about us.
hmm
And I feel like a lot of people still being selfish in a relationship. You can't be. It's me if you my woman, I can't be selfish with myself. Yes, I have needs, but overall, it's just like what's good. I got to do stuff for the family first. Like the family comes first. Like or whatever we building together, that should come first before anything. And
hmm
if we have time to, get stuff for ourselves, we should do that. Like, don't get me wrong, everybody needs like a self care and a self love day, and especially if your partner can see that you need a break or some shit like that, he should be able to maybe go pamper yourself or some shit like that. I see that you've been doing all this work, or you've been stressing a lot. Go take a day in the spa or some shit like that. Like that because that's looking out. That's looking out for sure. Or like if you have kids and like your kid is just being unbearable right now, and the husband be like, "All right, I got the kid for the night. You go ahead. You go relax somewhere. I got him." There's some shit like like little shit like that, just to show you like you appreciate it when you come for the team. You're doing it for the team because you know that you need it.
Yeah, no, I think it just depends on that group of individuals.
Like don't like yeah, because I tell people all the time I can cook, I can clean, I could, I could. There's things that I've taught myself how to do, but I'm not gonna lie. Like my sister makes the best deviled eggs. I know how to make deviled eggs, but I'd rather my sister do it because hers is just on point, and I don't really eat other people's deviled eggs.
That's how I am about my mother's lasagna.
Yep. See, like it's just one of those things where it's just like, okay, your shit is cool, but it ain't like my mama's lasagna. So, so any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Oh, the other thing she had said, it was in regards to like the fact that because I think her man originally felt like she could have just stayed home and she didn't have to work, and
Mm-hmm.
she was just like, um, in her mind she just couldn't, which I understood. Like she couldn't register the thought process of depending on somebody else and like I mean 100% being codependent on somebody else. Like so it was like she couldn't register that or like the possibility of just this one person has it all. Like I don't have to do nothing. And I was like, I could understand where she come from, but I think the way she said it, and I'm glad that like her husband, he never like, even though he realized she was still a little bit broken, a little bit, she's still a little bit broken. She's still working on herself and figuring out ways to like break
See,
down.
And see, that's the thing right there.
Yeah,
It's
I said
we all are.
yeah. That's what I said about independent women. It's just like the independent. You're so used to doing it for yourself that most of the times you're not even if the person do it right. And I know this about most people. Let's just say the person does it right. You don't feel like it's done it right until you looked over it, and that's
I
how.
I
And
wouldn't put her on I wouldn't put her on the level of being an independent woman.
I mean, she's not now because she was
No,
dependable, but
I'm
I
I'm
bet you,
I'm
like, even
saying
before
in
that,
general. She was never and she don't give off like she was ever an independent woman. I think the thing is she functions on fear. Because
that's
I
how
was
she's
most
going to say something
that's
about
how most
that for
independent
my final
yeah,
thought
that's
on
how most
that.
independent women function. They function on
no, that's not the case. It's the
It
thing is
really
she
is.
it
no
really.
she so she watched her dad do absolutely nothing, and she's seen her mom have to do a lot, and so she's just going off of what she's seen her whole life.
Again,
Um,
that's
That's
fear.
fear.
yeah, but being independent just solely based off of just fear. It's because the thing is, um,
Fear of having to go without. Fear of having your heart broken. That's what that mentality spawns from.
Fear of trusting another person that they're going to do what they said it was going to do. Yeah, that's like everything falls under
Why do
fear.
you? Let me ask you a question. Why do you think one of the number one things women complain about when it comes to men is consistency?
is that the number one thing they complain about when it comes to men?
It's one of the biggest things women complain about when it
When
comes
you
to the
say
men they deal with
consistency,
is
like consistency
consistency.
of what?
He,
How they treat them, how they support them. You know,
a lot of women feel like they do majority of the work in relationships and the men don't do shit.
I don't know because I didn't think consistency was what they was complaining about when it comes to men. So
it it's
I can't answer that
it's
question
a
because
big point I hear a lot of women make. You know, being a man of your word, you know, doing the things you say you're gonna do, showing that you're trustworthy, things like that.
Yeah. Mm, like when your mom asks you to go get the groceries, and then like you go get the groceries, she goes, you know what? I just do it my damn self because I do everything by myself.
yeah, but I wouldn't consider that consistency at all.
No,
Like
that's just like her, like basically her giving rent because she feels like she can't depend on nobody, and she got to do it by herself. And then that's when you get that rent. I do everything in this house by myself, and I don't really.
That that's
I,
that whole, you know,
that's
if
the
I don't,
thing
who
is,
will, you know,
Yeah,
mind
if
state.
I don't do it, who will? And that's how most independent runs on. If I don't do it, who will? But so when you finally meet somebody that
Shoot, that's honestly that's how a lot of men pretty much run. And
I
shit,
see it as
that's something
I
that the bulk
the
of
way
us need to try to
I,
grow out of.
the way I see that is more in a sense like you want something done right now, and due to his lack of or the high tendency of laziness that he has, he's not doing it
You're
right
you're
now. So
you're
you just go
you're
do it
thinking
yourself.
of it. See, you're thinking of in a specific moment. We're talking about long term. Years and years down the line. You know can I depend on this motherfucker? That type of shit. You're talking real situational with what you're saying.
Yeah, but I think females complain about guys in regards to laziness and financial problems. Like financially they not up to par, and when you want them to do something, it's like girls don't be when they tell you to do something, it's not for something for like, oh, because they could tell you, can you do this sometime today? But if they're saying, "Oh,
That's
can you take out this?" It's because they want you to do it right
that's
now.
that's
Like,
that's provision, which plays a part in the consistency thing, but it's not the same.
I think we see consistency differently.
I
Um,
think that men and women, they kind of run on their own clock. Because when
yeah.
men say we'll get to it. It's going to get done. It's like, don't worry about it. It's going to get done. I feel like when women ask you to do stuff, they want you to do it right there, right now. Because if not, they're going to like, they're just going to like press you about it all fucking day. Where men is just like, I have all the time in the world. I can do it. It'll get done when it'll get done. Don't you worry. It's one of those don't you worry things. Because you've heard the whole thing. Women's brains are like wires, and men's brains are like boxes and some shit like that.
But what if they're pressing you is because it hasn't been done. So when they start pressing you, it's because it hasn't been done.
Yeah, and
So was not on a rant.
all right, go ahead.
You were, you really were, and I'm not even trying to be funny with you. But you know what? I get why you're saying what you're saying.
No, because like sometimes, like if you have to tell a girl the same thing every day, every day, every day, it's like because clearly
Yeah. See,
the first like they used to do something and then all of a sudden it just slows down, it slows down, it slows down, and now every day you constantly have to tell them, and
okay,
you're telling them, it's because you want it done now. You don't want it done like 5 minutes from now, 20 minutes from now, 2 hours from now. Oh, I forgot. Then next day comes around, I forgot. Now you like, I'm so irritated, and that's like then all of a sudden you frustrated with this person.
Yep, that's boxes and wires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about boxes and wires. Where women is kind of connects to everything. Like if you don't get this done, this ain't gonna get done, and I'm gonna be worried about this. Where men is just like relax, it
No,
will
but
get done.
don't act like y'all don't get irritated either. Like if you constantly like let's say you tell one of your girls, okay, on the 15th we're gonna go do this. Then you let them know on the 15th we're gonna go do this. Then the day of the 15th come, they all of a sudden they need 3 more hours. Oh, we can't leave yet. I still need to do this. I still need that. Now you irritated. Like
Oh yeah,
you don't have all this
women,
time to go
women
get your nails done, to go get your hair done. I gave you 2 weeks in advance, and not a day of. You all of a sudden got all these plans, and we like 2 hours late, 30 minutes late, and it's like frustrating. It's like, bruh, like really?
I'm gonna tell you a little story. My father was before he got married. He was messing with this woman, and he specifically told her because he was like, we was all going to drive. This is when I was out the Navy, by the way. But we was going to drive down to Virginia Beach, just to enjoy the beach and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to leave at 6 in the morning because he did not want to be bothered with traffic. Like
Yeah.
he wanted to leave early. And the women he was with, the woman he was with, it was her and her daughter. And not only we were supposed to leave at 6, we didn't leave till 11, and
Mm.
that 11 in the morning. That was one, and it took us forever to get down there because they always wanted stuff. It
Traffic.
was annoying the fuck out of them. And then by the time we got down there, it was like 4 in the afternoon, and they only spent the hour at the beach, and they was like, "All right, we're ready to go back." I'm like, "What?" I'm not gonna lie to you. I was annoyed too because I told my father, I said, as soon as
Never.
we as soon as we hit Virginia Beach, I'm walking. As I know my way around here, you just hit me on my phone. I told her that. I was like, I'm gone.
Mm.
damn.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, that
Like you don't feel like you should have to tell people things, but then when you do have to tell people things, you're just like, it's starting to get annoying because it's like, why should I have to tell you? Like now I feel like I'm annoying you because I'm constantly having to tell you to do things that I shouldn't have to tell you to do things.
That I understand, but other times, usually dudes be like, whenever you get the chance, because I
Mhm.
don't want to. It's like I don't want to. And usually, when we ask stuff, it doesn't have to be done now. It's more or less like, can you do it sooner or later? I think a lot of times when women ask, no, even but I'm not saying you're wrong. This is, if anything, this might help your point. Usually, when women ask you to do stuff, they want it done then and there.
Yeah, because
Yeah, in that moment.
if they say, "Oh, can you take out the trash?" More than likely that means right now. But if
Yeah,
they say, "Whenever you have some time later, can you take out the trash before 9?" Oh, okay, because they like that it's not really a pressing issue, but just make sure it's out before the trash people come and get it. But if they tell you to take it out and 9 hit and it wasn't outside, it's not even outside. Yeah, now they was like, let me just go do it myself, and now they just can't. They feel like they can't depend on you, so they feel like they now have to do things because if eventually they're gonna feel like you're nagging them. After a while, you constantly asking somebody to do something, do something, do something, do something. It's like, bruh, leave me the fuck alone. Just leave me alone. Like, I do not want to hear nothing from your mouth right now. Just leave me alone. If it's that hot and that pressing, just do it your damn self and leave me the hell alone.
all right.
For me, it's the timing. You wait till I sit the fuck down and ask me to go do some shit.
That's also that's men's pet peeve. It's
That's the
just
part that pissed me off.
keep it
I'm
up.
sorry, that's experience talking. I done got comfortable. I done stretched my legs out across the couch. On top of that, you asked me to do something that requires me to go out in the motherfucking sun. It is 98 goddamn degrees outside. You out your goddamn mind.
Today was 90 degrees today. It was fucking
That
hot.
is true. That is true. It's like it pings their brain at that very moment. Like it's like they thought about it all day, but then they forgot about it. And then at that very moment, they looked at it and it was like, ping.
Yeah. So all right, any last
If your girl would text you the moment any random thing that she wanted you to do would pop her pop into her brain, I swear to God, it would be all day long. Like it would just be random things. Like they just walk around and see something like, oh, can you change out this bulb? Oh, can you get toilet paper? Oh, it'd just be so random. And you'd be like, I don't even want to look at this text message no more because, like, why is this like? And it'd be stuff that they could do they stuff, but it's just like, I already passed it. Let me just pass it on home.
right.
Like they was in the bathroom, they knew they used the
But
last one, but
see,
did they go get the last? Did they get a new road? No.
what you're saying is why on certain days, like I call and say, "Hey, do you or the kids want or need anything before I come back to the house?" Because once I walk through this motherfucking door, I'm not going a goddamn place else.
Yeah, but now you put them on the spot, so now their brain already canceled anything they was thinking. I'm being serious. It's different. Like
That
if you was thinking something.
I hear a psychology student talking.
No, but like when you put some like let's say let's say you had like a food restaurant, right? And you're like, oh, do you want anything? Mind you, the whole time you knew what you wanted, and then now all of a sudden you're like, oh, like let me look at the menu. Now you confused, you don't know what you want. Now you done took another 5 minutes. No, you knew what you want to get in there when you came in there, but all of a sudden they put you on the spot by asking that question. And now you confused. Now you just like let me see what they got. Bro, you looked at the menu. Like prior to coming, you know what they
You
got.
looked at you looked at the menu online before you pulled up. You had already known what you was gonna motherfucking get.
Yeah, and you know how much you want to spend. So
Right.
like now all of a sudden you up there, you lost and confused.
Right. You came to the restaurant with intent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like it throws you off sometimes. It's like basic questions, especially when you're not expecting them.
Right,
Like,
'cause it makes you have to goddamn think.
mm-hmm. And then once you get there and they see it, like, oh man, I needed this. And you're like, oh hell no. You ain't getting it. Just know that. I messaged you 10 times.
All right. Any last word before we move on to our next topic?
Mm.
Okay. All right. Let me just exit this one and this one. The next topic, Dion sent this to me. So let me go ahead and share the screen again. That's not it. Hold on. All right, Dion sent this to me, and I will after we hear her talk, I would like to get the panel's thoughts on this. So let's get it.
Stop speaking about unrealistic beauty standards. You've created a shitstorm for men and women. Hear me out. Just like feminists, the body positivity freaks won. I can't find clothes anymore. Ever heard of vanity sizing? It is a psychological trick that a lot of brands have been using to create brand loyalty. Like, take this example. A 36 waist in Old Navy pants is in reality a 41. I'm 100 pounds. I typically wear a size extra small. And over the past few years, I literally have to get my clothes custom fitted, which usually costs more than the item itself. And that is if I don't want to shop in the children's department. My healthy body has been outcast because someone else needs to feel validated in their Twinkie addiction. Vanity sizing is also present in men's clothing, but not nearly as much. Instead, now when men go shopping, they see frail soy boys who look like they haven't touched a weight in their lives and look like every birth control dependent woman's dream. I mean, just look at this Abercrombie 2010 versus 2024. And then we have women going to the Victoria's Secret website, and no wonder women are so miserable and men are so confused. Ladies, you have to stop speaking about.
So Dion, since you sent this to me, I'm coming to you first. What are your thoughts about this?
I just thought she made wrong.
Double speak. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just saying, yeah, she makes a good point. Cause shoot.
Bless you.
Ooh, shoot, excuse me. Fuck.
Bless you. Go ahead, Dion. Dion, you're muted.
I know I was trying to talk and I just started fucking sneezing.
Oh,
Just material, take off for a moment.
All right. So I I like her video. I felt like she was being very honest with the fact is, like the sizing chart, even though we've been complaining for years, the fact is the sizing chart is not realistic to like what American is. And I guess I guess the people that is being affected are feeling, I guess, what people who are heavier or thicker in the thicker range felt for years. Now people who are smaller in the smaller range are feeling the effects of what, you know, thicker people been complaining about for the longest. But there's nothing wrong with her shopping in the kids section because technically the kids section is now the extra small. It's the adult extra small. Let's be honest. The kids are a little bit more chunkier now. And so the size she wants is there.
Okay.
Got it together, Dion?
Yeah.
All right,
I don't know
cool.
where the fuck that came from, but in any case, because I was hearing what Material was saying as well. Yeah, all that is absolutely correct. Like I'm a smaller. Well, would I be considered smaller or average size? Because like I ain't but 150 pounds, but like I wear pretty much mid size everything.
You're probably in the middle. I would say that.
Yeah, yeah. I think the only thing I got really working against me, I'm someone on the short side, but whatever. But yeah, I've noticed it when it comes to do shopping for clothes for myself as well. How how much just how much things have changed in terms of what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Well, just how things are marketed and shoot, especially how certain things are like measured. Because let me, so I can tell you for a fact, not everybody cuts their shit the same. You'll need a damn, you might need a damn 32 in one brand in pants or whatever, and end up needing a 34, 36 in another, depending on how they measure their shit, how they cut it.
Okay. Um, I I will say this. I think I'm very old school when it comes to this because like I do feel like yes, and I do understand like the supermodels are there for a reason. They're there to sell it to you because they are the attractive. They're kind of like the beautiful people are the beautiful people. So I can understand you want to sell to them. And in most designers, they're not really meant for big people unless it's made in America. So it's always like fashion is that type of fashion has always been pertained to the smaller types and or someone her size. So I will say old school for that. But also um I say this all the time. Some of y'all need to learn how to dress your size because some of y'all can't dress your shit. Like I don't know how many times I've gone to the metro and I seen somebody that just didn't know how to coordinate their own outfits and all that other stuff, and it's just like they'll wear whatever and all that other stuff. So, body like whether big or small, if anything, the skinnier ones are usually the ones that, in my opinion, can't dress to me. But I digress. um, I think, yeah,
Man, I got a horror story about this one big broad I seen a few years ago. I'll never forget this shit. She had to be about 300 pounds and maybe a couple inches taller than me. Had the audacity to wear a miniskirt. You could see her damn belly fat under the fucking miniskirt.
oh man, I done. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Especially being in DMV, I done seen a lot of big girls have the. I don't want to say privilege, but they had the audacity to be wearing some of the stuff that they wear. They know is meant for skinny people. Like, but shoot, I know. Like when I
Like,
went to Dubai,
just
and
why? Just why? And do you not have people who love you and care about you to tell you that this is a bad freaking idea?
if someone would care about it, someone would be in the mirror talking about, yo, that shit is trash. Get it the fuck out of here. But people let a lot of people slide, so I'm really not surprised on that. So, um, but yeah, I always dig the kind of like the '90s, the supermodel. Now, don't get me wrong, I had my share of Vibe magazine with Melissa Ford, the one with Maya on the Vibe magazine. She was and a little bit of thicker models but I know there's some clothes for thick women that actually look good on thick women. Like, but I do feel like sometimes the bigger women kind of like dresses like the skinnier women or some shit like that. It's something to do. If you seen a big girl with a belly under the mini skirt, that's crazy. That is crazy. But a lot of people, a lot they'll call it confidence, but I think it's kind of like false confidence. But that's just me. I'm not. I'm not the most fashionista type of nigga. So
I mean, there's confidence, and then there's just not giving a fuck. Like
hmm and
a confident person still care about, what gives them the confidence in the first place. You you kind of have to take care of that.
oh, father done enter the chat. What up, father?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, it took me a while to be. What's up?
It's okay. We're talking about the body positivity needs to stop video. Have you seen it?
No,
I'll play it for you.
they got my ass working, bro.
Uh,
The shit ghetto.
it is ghetto. Hold
Right.
on. Let me know if you can hear the video. Water.
Unrealistic beauty standards. You've created
Yep.
form for men and
Okay.
women. Hear me out. Just like feminists, the body positivity freaks won. I can't find clothes anymore. Ever heard of vanity sizing? It is a psychological trick that a lot of brands have been using to create brand loyalty. Like, take this example. A 36 waist in Old Navy pants is in reality a 41. I'm 100 pounds. I typically wear a size extra small. And over the past few years, I literally have to get my clothes custom fitted, which usually costs more than the item itself. And that is if I don't want to shop in the children's department. My healthy body has been outcast because someone else needs to feel validated in their Twinkie addiction. Vanity sizing is also present in men's clothing, but not nearly as much. Instead, now when men go shopping, they see frail soy boys who look like they haven't touched a weight in their lives and look like every birth control dependent woman's dream. I mean, just look at this Abercrombie 2010 versus 2024 model. And then we have women going to the Victoria's Secret website, and no wonder women are so miserable and men are so confused. Ladies,
Your thoughts, father?
I blame white women. It's their fault.
Damn.
Nah, think about it. Cause all that, so body positivity, right? It's supposed to be a term for bigger women to feel more confident, right? But my thing is bro, why do you need society's validation? You feeling what I'm saying? The only reason why you need to do that is so you don't feel excluded. And who's doing most of the excluding when you look at it? It ain't black people. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, bro, because, a thick white woman is considered fat in white society. But in black society, she just, she got some meat on her. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But white society, they see that as fat. Like, you are fat, woman. They don't like that shit.
There you have it.
Yeah, it's not. It's not really. It's kind of really simple. I've been kind of witnessing them a lot. So ain't really much to say about that. And plus, the woman that's complaining, bruh, just online shop. You know what I'm saying? Just shop online and you'll be fine.
If you're a smaller person and you need some shit, if you're having difficulty, this might sound funny. Give sites like Wish and Temu a fucking try.
Or just gain weight.
I just want y'all to dress your size and knowing what fits your body right. Like, this goes for big girls and skinny girls. But
And also, I don't want them to try and parlay black women into this because I have seen the biggest black women rock some of the most confident, fashion that I've ever seen in my life. Black big women are confident. I'll give them that.
Any last words before we move on to our final topic?
What were the other topics before?
We was talking about John Cena, which should be his last match. I think it's good. Me personally, I think he might just be his last match might be a new face. Dion said Randy Orton. I also joked and said it'd be funny if R-Truth was John Cena's last match. I also would like book that, but that was one of them. And the other one we was talking about. How would you explain it? B, what would we call that? It was
Hmm.
about like dating. One was about this woman. She didn't want to date no more. She was like in her 30s. She didn't want to date no more. She just wanted get just ready to get married, and whoever's going to find her, they're just going to know to get married. And the other one, it was just like she never met a man that was like dependable, and like I was talking about the how, and then we got into the whole discussion of wants being wanted or being needed. That's what it was. That's what.
I'm sorry, that's kind of a stupid discussion because if you are a certain type of way, then you should know what you should want in your partner. You know what I'm saying? That comes with self knowledge. If you don't have that self knowledge, why the fuck are you talking about dating? You know what I mean? It's like, you can't date unless you have self love and you are reaffirmed in yourself that you know what you're looking for. Otherwise, you're just gonna be here lost and you're just gonna pick up any motherfucking thing. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we be having the discussions we be having a lot because niggas don't know what the fuck they want. As for John Cena, I agree. It should be a new face. It should be somebody new. I would say either Carmelo Hayes or Austin Theory. One of those two.
Thank
Put
you.
them over.
Thank you. Thank you. I fucking said Austin Theory.
Mm. We here, right? We here.
We here. We fucking here. Harlem Heat, baby. Harlem Heat.
Yeah, but it's just like, bro, like at the end of the day, if you are very intentional in dating or finding someone to marry, then you're going to develop yourself to be worthy of that. Period.
Oh yeah. Also, what grade would you give Money in the Bank? By the way,
B plus.
would you give it Dion an A minus? Dion, you
Oh,
muted.
I stepped away from my damn phone. Yeah, I said an A minus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
And
we
like
right
I said,
there.
they lost points for predictability. That's it.
I just thought it was a pretty good show. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match was the highlight of the night. That was the match of
Dion,
the night for me.
Dion
Um,
also said that. He said the women's Money in the Bank was a highlight match.
yeah, I just don't agree with Tiffany Stratton being
I
Money in the
do.
Bank.
I do.
I wanted it to be Naomi. I really did.
I
I'm not even
don't
gonna hold you.
I don't disagree with Stratton winning. I wasn't expecting it.
I don't get it because they've been. I well maybe it's just me. I was like they've been pushing this girl to the fucking moon, and
I mean, yeah, of course, like no doubt. But I don't know. Naomi winning Money in the Bank, like they could have told a lot of stories with that. I just feel like Tiffany Stratton, not that she's a bad pick for it, I just felt like more could be done with other people.
I will
Because
agree.
because right now Tiffany Stratton is with Nia Jax, so she has double potential.
Stratton
She's
didn't
Money
need
in the
it.
Bank. I
I
mean,
feel like
like,
Stratton doesn't need it.
but it's not about needing it at that point. It's about the opportunity. You feel what I'm saying? Anybody can be Money in the Bank. Like fucking Baron Corbin was Money in the Bank. You remember that?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like anybody, fucking Nikki Ash was Money in the Bank,
and she is almost a superhero.
and she won the motherfucking title.
And she did. She definitely
Like
got
she had a successful cash in. So you know what I'm saying? And then not only that, the women's Money in the Bank has a 100% success rate so far.
Damn, he's right. It is 100%.
So Tiffany Stratton is going to be champion. she's pretty much guaranteed to be champion. She just got to pick which one. I'm assuming she's going to pick Bailey. And then after that, her and Naomi are going to beef. Because if you remember, Tiffany Stratton's very first major beef in the main roster was with Naomi.
Yeah, see, this is what I think is going to happen. Remember, Bailey has to defend against Nia Jax at SummerSlam after Nia winning the Queen of the Ring tournament. Since Nia and Stratton all of a sudden are buddy, that's when Stratton's going to come after Bailey.
You want to know what I think? I think Bailey's going to retain, but Nia is going to beat the shit out of her, and then Stratton's going to cash in.
Exactly. I gotta ask you this. So, do you think what they did with the men's Money in the Bank contract was a waste?
No,
Thank you.
it was not a waste. It was to further a motherfucking rivalry.
A bigger,
Right.
more important story.
Yeah, but I can understand the criticism because I did want Jey Uso to win that match. I did. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know what? It still kind of works out at the end of the day because it's not like they still can't give out title opportunities. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just, I mean, like Drew lost his opportunity and that's it. So they can give. So basically, the champ is free.
Mm-hmm. It's honestly better this way.
And plus, now it is good too because now all of the focus can be on the women's Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Okay. I see that.
And after Rhea Ripley popping up on Raw, I can't wait till next week.
They did that perfectly.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Loved it.
That was fucking perfect. Did you see Dom Mysterio's face?
That mustache is getting real out of hand too.
I can't get over the look of shock on Liv Morgan's face when Rhea came down there.
That was
Girl had a heart attack.
She was like, "I'm really trying to take your man from you."
And then Damian Priest was in the back like, "I told you this."
I told your ass.
Can I just say I hate JD McDonough and Finn Balor for sticking their hand from behind the wall the way they did.
I still can't get over Jey Uso and the whole yeet and leave thing.
Yeet then beat feet.
Yo, I'm gonna do that too. It's just yeet and it just runs.
No, that nigga got the fuck out of there.
He said, like I said earlier, when he said he wanted no smoke with the Wyatt Six, he meant every word of that. He refuses.
Jey Uso said, "Hey, yo, I didn't take the Fireflies, but I'm giving them back." Yeet, you fucking deep dick.
All right. On to the final topic of the day, which is I gotta share my screen once again. I'm gonna play something, and I would like to get your thoughts on this. This I don't know if y'all are familiar with Anton Daniels, but basically he was basically saying there is no benefit to raising another man's child, and he is kind of explains here why.
That I have for sure.
I could never be a stepfather.
Why?
I don't believe in that. Like I think that I call him step baby daddy or step crash dummy. I could never in my right mind.
Step crash dummies?
Step crash dummies. Yeah.
Why don't you believe in stepfathers?
Because he's always going to yearn to understand who he truly is from the person that he was born from.
No, you're 100%.
Yeah,
I agree.
And so I don't see the benefit that a guy gets out of raising another man's child.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's no benefit.
That's
It's a
you know
zero
what?
sum statement.
As,
wouldn't say
as,
there's
as,
no
much as
benefit.
as much as I want to dislike that statement, I
It's
will
a
say
zero.
that
It's a zero benefit.
often to some people,
Unless you just want to feel good about yourself.
often step parenting can be a rewardless job. But when you accept what your role is in it versus trying to be someone's everything, for me, it's been a bit different. And I will go as far as saying too, we have been able to establish our own relationship. I don't want to be your mama. I'm not your mama. I'm a mother figure to you. You have a mama. I don't need you to look at me and say, "Oh, mom, A, B, C, and D." No. You have a biological mother that you have access to for that. I'm here to be a pillar in your village
But it's
and to help.
different. I can't speak to it from a woman's perspective.
Yeah,
I think it's the same.
And no,
Oh,
let me
no.
let
I
me tell you.
disagree.
Let me. I definitely. I agree and disagree with it. I agree with it for a certain kind of man, a certain kind of traditional alpha man. It's not going to be able to do anything. And I don't say alpha man to try to say beta is different and sigma is bad and all that. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that a certain mindset, a certain man that wants to run everything is going to be difficult having two lions in the family. Because a man like Anton is going to show up as the man. I'm doing this. I'm handling this. This is my village.
I would like the panel's thoughts on that. What did y'all think about that? Did you think he has a point?
I get it, but situations do vary. So,
Thank you, Dion. I 100% motherfucking agree. Situations may vary.
I think they just be saying stuff to be saying stuff. Because I don't know. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention or something, but I was kind of confused because was it the same girl that like either she was on her pick me straight or something, but like she was agreeing to everything the guy was saying, or was it two different girls that was talking at one point?
There's one that was a dark skin girl. There was one that was a lighter girl that was a little thinner. Or she had
Yeah.
a certain face. Are you talking about the one?
Yeah, I'm talking about the one that was talking the most. Like she had agreed to the guy, the whole thing about being, he feels like it's unbeneficial to be a step parent. And then I guess when he took the woman perspective into it, and he was like, was different in the woman. She was like, yeah, I agreed. Was it two different people, or was that still the same person?
I think that was the same person.
Exactly. So it was like she had that pick me mentality just started airing out because it's just like, how can you? First of all, you agreed that it was unbeneficial in the men, but when he said that, oh, it's different for a woman, all of a sudden you switch your tone. Like, girl, first of all, it's unbeneficial for somebody who don't want to do it. So why would you go seek a woman or a guy who has kids knowing you don't want to be a step parent? So now you entered yourself into the chat of a woman with kids or a man with kids, and you now feel irritated about the fact that she came with baggage. Like, make it make sense. If you don't want somebody with kids, if you don't want to be a step parent to somebody's kid, if you don't want to be active in somebody's with kids' life, don't go seeking or talking to them. Like, people, preference is not a bad thing. Like, just because y'all feel like, oh, there's no options out there. So y'all feel like, oh, I just got to accept what I got. And then you sitting there, you mistreating the child, you mistreating the woman, you feel like, I settled with her when you could have. There's a lot of people who ain't got kids. That's definitely older. There's a lot of people who don't want kids. But why would you go get in a relationship with somebody who want kids and knowing you don't want kids at all? And then be shocked when you accidentally get them pregnant because they wasn't on birth control and you expect them to be on birth control. Oh, but they tell you they don't even believe in birth control. It's like,
I'm gonna say this: different folks, different strokes. You're gonna have some that are gonna want to fill that role. You're gonna have some that don't. It's all fair. Just know what you want. Know what you are capable of. And if you know you're gonna be a bad parent, don't put yourself in that position. Sometimes people overcomplicate things, and that's my issue with adults, especially. Like, you put yourself in fucked up, stupid ass situations, and then you have questions as to why you're in the situation you're in. He said that he sees that as beneficial, as unbeneficial, so he wouldn't want to be in that role. So he's not going to seek out a woman that already has a child. He's going to want to make his own. So if he follows that example, then he'll be fine. But if he's the type of nigga to say what he just said and get with a woman that already has a child, then he's being contradictory. That's all.
All right, I'm going to come from a place of the anomaly, and I will admit they're an anomaly because usually I like statistics shows that the stepfathers don't really get the respect even when they do help raise the child. They usually don't get the respect that they really deserve. But I'm actually going to speak from a place of the anomaly, and bear with me. My older brother has a different father than I do. But if you ever look at our family, you would never know it because my father basically, when married my mom and all that other stuff, he never treated my older brother like an outcast. He never treated him like a redheaded stepchild. You would have thought that was his son, the way he treated him. So, which in case made my brother. I feel like if my father was never there, my brother would be probably somewhere in jail or something like that, or just doing random shit. I feel like okay, I understand that a lot of people don't want to date single mothers because usually a lot of mothers, single mothers, they treat their sons like kings or the man in the house, and sometimes they get a little coddled, which like because because a lot of women feel like the men get coddled. Now, in my house, I never got coddled, nor being my brother. Like we had to take accountability. I ain't get the hell. Hell, half of the times, like I didn't even have a room. Like I was never coddled. But that's another story. But but there are sometimes I will say this: if your kid, you might be the positive male role model that that person needs, and sometimes I feel like a lot of these dudes that act the way they do act because they don't have not a father in their life, but a positive male role model in it. They don't really have that. So, but when you have someone that is a good for your kid and he's a positive male role model, you usually have that. Usually, they come out a better person. Now, the funny thing is, when my brother's father wanted to rekindle with my brother, he hit my mother up, and my mother she came to me. She was like, "Your brother's biological father hit me up and wanted to meet him." She was like, "I don't know if I should tell him or not." And I remember telling her, I said, "Might as well tell him." I mean, I don't think he ever asked where. I don't think my brother ever asked where his real father was at, but well, when she did tell him, he did go meet him, and then like uh the they met up, and then I don't think he's ever talked to his father again because some shit went down that I'm not sure what happened, but the relationship between my brother and my father is still tight. They still tight to this It's still tight to this day. We still treat like family. Like again, he doesn't get treated like a stepchild. So I feel like what he says is unbeneficial. It's just like I think it just depends on the woman you're with, and if the woman you're with is going to let you become the authority in the house. Because um, don't get me wrong, like every I feel like person, every son tries their father. I've I've seen it in other families, whether biological or not. Everybody tries their father or not. So it's like, and in my house that happened too. But other than that, it's just like when you have a good relationship and a positive male role model, why not let that man raise the child? Because you might be what they need. So that's where I'm coming from right there. So now whether you don't want to date single moms, because that's honestly that was another argument that was going on, because one of them was talking about um, telling men they should date single moms, and Anton Daniels was like you shouldn't date single moms because like he said it feels like there's no benefit. That's up to you. It's just like what do you want out of a relationship? Because most of the people that I feel like if you're in your 30s or late 20s, early 30s, most of the people you want to meet, they already have one or two kids already. So you might as well just, find what fits you, and whatever system y'all have, make sure you work it out. So that's all I really got to say about that. Any last words before we move on to our final thoughts?
Go after what you're looking for. Don't waste your time going after something fit the mold that you're seeking. Like there's enough. I'm being honest. There's enough fishes, sharks, whales in this world.
Be honest with who you're pursuing and be honest with yourself.
I agree.
All right. I don't know if Father's coming back or not, so we're just gonna go with our final thoughts, and I'm going to start with you, Dion.
Uh, nothing, nothing noteworthy to say tonight.
Okay. What about you, Material Life?
In this day and age that we are all in, wasting time is the thing of the past. There is no reason in our big age that we should still feel the need to waste time. I know some people may not get it. Some people it has, you know, it has passed them because at the end of the day, we have 50-year-olds competing with 20-year-olds in the dating market. So clearly, these 50-year-olds, they still got a lot of time to waste. So, but wasting time in your big age should be a thing of your past. And competing with young adults should also be a thing of the past.
Is that Material Life?
Yep, that is it.
Okay. It's funny because I know we was talking about it yesterday. It seems like people trying to like push the wall back and then like try to, but yeah. So now we got a bunch of 40-year-olds competing with a bunch of 20-year-olds and all that other stuff. So a lot of people want to. God damn it.
Just crazy work.
Yeah. So shoot, half of the year is almost over. Half of the year is over. Um,
Shit went fast.
Shit really did go fast. I don't know if I'm going to do. I usually do like top 5 hours of the midsummer. I don't think I have a solid five yet that I can even think of, but I will say this: this has been a lot of good music that's dropped this year, and I still got another bunch of stuff that I need to review. Like I know Megan's album dropped. I've been listening to Anderson Paak and Knowledge, the No Worries. That one's been sounding good. I think Eminem dropped next week, and I think someone else drops too. Eminem's gonna have an album. I'm gonna try to review that. So a bunch of good music has been dropping. Um, the lesbian. I'm probably going to watch the lesbian homie after we done wrap this up. So uh, I can't wait to see. That one's almost over. Hey, Father came back. Father, do you have any final words before we get up out of here?
Y'all smell like earring backs. Good night.
All right. And I'm just going to end with this.
Welcome, Father.
Yeet. Yeah, yeeted the fuck out of there, bro.
That is the funniest. That was one of the funniest shit I seen this week. Just Jake.
He said, fuck this shit, I'm out.
For some reason, I hope that catches on. I really do. I hope that
You
catches
just
on.
yeet and then get the fuck.
Yes. Also, shout out to Mercedes Monet for winning her belt, and then I think her with Britt Baker D&D. I think that's going to be a good match whenever they wrestle. So,
I love both of them. You know I'm riding Mercedes now, but I do like Britt Baker because she's been there from the beginning.
Oh yeah, Britt Baker dope. Also, I just missed Joe Henry just appeared in NXT, so
Yeah.
I didn't get to see the entrance, but I did watch the match.
You watched what? I can't believe Trick Williams lost. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
It's the way he lost that got me.
I'm surprised. Oh yeah. Shout out to Mia Yim. She's really been putting on matches too. Like
she's in her workhorse era.
She is definitely in a workhorse era, and I hope they I hope they give her a good push in whatever she does, because the stuff she's been doing in NXT and Raw, I think she's on Raw. Yeah, she's been
back and forth to both.
Yeah, she's been putting on some good matches and shit. So I think they're finally seeing something in me and Yim that most people don't see. So I hope she gets a push. So that's all I got to say. I would like to thank the panel for jumping on as usual. I would like to thank all of y'all for listening to hear us talk our shit again. This is, you know what, let me just say podcast, and we're signing out. Peace.
Deuces.